Curtis T1 Fowler, indictment 2013-2195. Your Honor, he's pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter with a recommendation of 20 years active service and credit for time that he served, which as of today is 485 days.
You explained to your client the charges contained in the indictment, the possible punishment, and you explained to him his constitutional right.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you believe Mr. Fowler has understood the discussions you've had with him?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with his decision to plead guilty to this charge?
Yes, sir.
And based on your investigation of the facts and circumstances of this case, do you believe it likely the state could convince a jury that he's guilty of this charge beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fowler, how old are you?
31.
And what kind of work have you normally done?
Work. What I'm get. Yes, sir.
Have you ever been in criminal court before?
Yes, sir.
The last time was approximately how long ago?
About 7 years ago.
And what happened to you as a result of you being in court?
What happened?
To you?
I went down the road. I went to prison.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, sir.
In the past 24 hours, have you taken any medication, drugs, or consumed any alcohol?
No, sir.
Are you aware today that a physical, nervous, or emotional problem you might have as it interferes with your ability to understand what's going on?
No, sir.
Your attorney and the solicitor both tell me that you wish to plead guilty to the charge of voluntary manslaughter. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The solicitor's going to give me the facts of the case. Please listen.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. On May 31st of 2013, between 11:15 and 11:20 p.m. at 1703 Martin Avenue, which is inside the city limits of Anderson, the defendant in this case and the victim, Brian Keith Howard, and another individual, the aunt of the defendant, were all hanging out, had been drinking. The victim in this case became engaged in an altercation with the defendant's aunt, who he was dating, and some physical things ensued between the two of them. At that time, the victim in this case, Mr. Howard, said he was going to leave. The defendant in this case went into another room of the home. The victim in this case was preparing to leave the home. In fact, was, according to the witness, tying his shoe. And the defendant in this case shot the victim at that time. He then left the home, texted several individuals, said that he had killed the victim in this case, said he had shot him in the head for punching the victim's aunt, the defendant's aunt rather. And eventually, 3 days later, the defendant was apprehended by the Anderson Police Department. Your Honor, the family of the victim is present. They do not wish to speak, and Detective Carla Oglesby with the APD is also present. She also does not wish to speak unless it's necessary.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Fowler, you've heard the solicitor's statement of the facts. Do you agree with what she just told?
For the most part, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe that there are some of the smaller facts of what happened that he may disagree with. They do not go to the element of the crime. They go to basically the defense that he had wished to pursue at a jury trial if this matter had went to a jury trial. But he understands that he is waiving those defenses by entering this plea today, and he fully admits the charge of manslaughter here today. And when I make my presentation of mitigation to Your Honor, I will highlight those factual things that he believes are different than what the government has stated.
He admits that he did, in fact, shoot.
Yes, sir.
Kill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he does.
You agree with all of that?
Yes, sir.
We have just said,
Yes, sir.
are you guilty then of the charge of voluntary manslaughter?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney explained to you your right to have a jury trial on this charge if you wanted one.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had a jury trial?
No, sir.
If you were, bear with me just a minute, if you were to have a jury trial, even if you stand there now, you're still entitled to have it.
Yes, sir.
If you were to have a jury trial, among other things, the court would instruct the jury that you're presumed innocent, and the burden would be upon the state to prove your guilt to the jury beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine witnesses that the state might call to testify against you. You, of course, could have your own witnesses testify for you, and you could testify or not. If you decided not to testify, the court would instruct the jury that they could not hold that against you because you have a constitutional right not to testify. If you had made any incriminating statements, confessions, things such as that, you have a right to challenge the state's right to use that evidence against you. Of course, you have a right to challenge the state's right to use any evidence against you. In addition, as the attorney mentioned to me a minute ago, you may have certain defenses to these charges. By pleading guilty, you're giving up the weight and your right to have to present these defenses to the charge. You understand you have all these rights.
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to discuss these matters with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Has he answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Not really,
You need to tell me about it.
I just feel like he ain't working for me. I feel like my case, I feel like I'm reserved 20 years. But I'm afraid to go to trial because of my background, then I'm get a life sentence.
I understand that. Has he not done anything you've asked him to do?
No, he been a good lawyer. When I write him, he write back. I feel like he ain't explaining my situation to the solicitor better than I feel like he just ain't working hard enough. You know what I'm saying? He a good attorney. I just feel like the points that I point out is like everything that I say, he turned it down. He like everything is negative to what I say. You know what I'm saying? I was in my home protecting my loved one from a man who's already been in prison for killing somebody. And I'm in my home. I had a job, everything, working in the asset industry. And I was in my home protecting someone that I love. Someone been like a mama to me, and he hit her.
It sounds to me as though you're talking about the defenses that we just mentioned a minute ago. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Have you and your attorney not had a chance to discuss all of that?
Yes, sir. We done discussed it.
And the two of you just have a disagreement over how things might play out.
Really, young. I'm confused, really. I ain't never been in a situation, and I'm just scared to get life sentence.
I understand. Any other complaints against you?
Yes, sir.
Other than what you mentioned to me before, are you satisfied with what you heard?
Yes, sir.
Now then, Mr. Fowler, does anyone threaten you or coerce you in any way to make you or cause you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
You're pleading guilty of your own free will.
Honestly, y'all know, I ain't pleading guilty. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to trial. I'm going to trial. You know? They don't just have to give me a life sentence. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't deserve 20 years. So I'm just going to go to trial. They give me a life sentence, they give it to me. I'm going to fight for my life.
All right, to withstand that on your case.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Judge.